and welcome to the third episode of Leave It to Pat. I wanted to talk today about buying a home in the spring market. Given the Super Bowl is over, we are now officially in the spring market. And there are really three different points that I wanted buyers to be aware of as they're entering this market. And the first one has to do with getting pre-approved for a mortgage. It doesn't matter what price range you're looking at, you really need to have that pre-approval, because you don't want to be looking at, let's say, $1 million house when what you can afford is $700,000. And you don't want to be looking at a $400,000 house if what you can afford is $250,000. So get that work done ahead of time. And the other reason is because the market is so hot right now, you could potentially have to turn around an offer in 2 to 3 hours. And so having that pre-approval done ahead of time allows the loan officer to just kind of sneak that paperwork in along with your purchase agreement. The second piece to keep in mind, second part, is to get your homework done ahead of time. Get out there and look at open houses. Figure out what it is that you're liking about some of the houses you're seeing, what you don't like. Do you want one completely fixed up and remodeled, or do you want to do work yourself? Are you looking for a neighborhood with kids? If so, get out there and see, how many basketball hoops are in the driveways. Get an idea of what you're looking for. Get that homework done ahead of time. Do you want a gym to be able to get to within a close distance? Where are the schools? That type of thing. So get out there and take a look at that. And again, because the market is so hot, you may not have a chance to say, oh, do I really want this house? It's not exactly what I want. Let me sleep on it. You may not have that option. And so if you've done your homework ahead of time and you see the house that could potentially be yours, you're ready to move on it. And also keep in mind that there is no such thing as a 100% house. Even if you're building a house, a month after you get in there, guaranteed you're going to say, oh, I wish I had done this and this differently. So there is no such thing as 100%. So aim at that 85%. So keep that in mind. Don't hold out for the exact perfect house, because there is no such thing. And the third piece is be careful of what you pay for the house. Again, because this is a hot market, the chances of being in multiple offers and getting into a bidding war are pretty high, especially in the lower ranges of the market. And unless you're paying a cash offer, you're going to be using a bank, and the bank is going to go in and appraise that home. And so if you are paying, $50,000 over list price, the bank is going to come in and do the appraisal, and the appraiser is going to say, but there's no supporting evidence that this house is worth that type of money. And so the bank will not loan you the money at that price range. So then you either have to renegotiate, or you have to come up with the cash between what the loan will be worth and what you just promised the seller. So that's one reason. And actually, a lot of the sellers are now requiring the offers that are coming in to have a clause in there that says the buyer has the cash available to be able to make up the difference between the appraised price and the offer price. So keep that in mind. And the other reason is, when you're buying a home, you're thinking about building equity. And if you start at too high of a price, you're not building that equity up. You've just given that equity to the seller. So you need to, and plus, if you end up selling the house in 2 to 3 years, you don't have the time to build that equity and that value back. So be careful, and just don't go overboard just because it's a great house. Have patience, and another house will come along, but just be careful of what you're paying for it. If you have any questions, give me a call, and I'd love to talk. And otherwise, Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.